Hello, it's Tommy, and welcome back to the Eurovoxx YouTube channel. I am super excited today because we are joined by Rachel Goode, one of the contenders for representing Ireland in Eurovision 2022, and also Johan Mauritzson, one of the songwriters behind Rachel's 80s banger, I'm Loving Me. So, guys, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hello, lovely to be here.
Hi, really nice to see you.
Yeah, we've got a very international setup today. We've got Barcelona, Sweden, and Ireland covered. So, yeah, it's great that we get to speak like this. So, first of all, I'll come to you, Rachel. We're about 2 weeks away as we speak now to the Late Late Show Eurovision special, where we will have that decision about who will be going to Turin for Ireland. So, I'm curious to know, what do the next 2 weeks look like for you? How have the preparations been going?
Well, we have been in RT for the past 2 days. I'm not really sure if I'm allowed to kind of say what we've been doing. But we all got to meet each other today, which was lovely, and got to know each other a little bit. So that was really nice. It kind of actually, I don't know about everyone else, but it kind of made me feel a bit more relaxed, that kind of way, just because we all got to know each other, and it wasn't like we turned up on the night and it's like, hey, good luck, well done, like awkward. It was just nice, kind of gave us that nice vibe, and everyone got on really well, so it was lovely. And yeah, I suppose it's 10 days now, so just need to practice and relax, not see anybody so I don't get COVID.
Exactly, yes, yeah.
And yeah, so that's probably my top aim: do not get COVID.
Yes, very good. That sounds very, very sensible. And I'm curious to know, so you got to meet each other today, and what was the vibe like between you? Did you get to talk about each other's songs, and how did you guys get on?
Yeah, so we all got on really well. Everyone was like really, really easygoing. Because I was a bit like, oh God, like meeting everyone, but everyone was like so nice, and I was just put at ease like straight away. Yeah, everyone kind of, we didn't go into detail about each other's songs, but everyone kind of was like, oh, your song's great, you're a great singer. That was kind of the vibe. I think everyone kind of said that to each other. So I don't think anyone really knows what people really think, but yeah, it was really nice. It was really nice to meet everyone. It was a lovely, lovely, relaxed vibe.
That's awesome. It's great to see the support between the artists.
Absolutely,
and yeah,
Isn't
so
it?
Go ahead, Johan.
Well, I was just thinking about that. When artists come together, because sometimes you have a feeling when it comes to competitions like this, that's like there has to be some kind of, like people are against each other. But then you meet and you realize that it's actually something that's put on you by maybe fans or media, and people are super nice to each other and supportive.
Absolutely, yeah. Because that was a worry as well. That kind of competitive, and I know in these types of things, like there is a competitive nature, but it was nice that people weren't like kind of ignoring you or not speaking to you because they're against you. Kind of like we're against each other, but we're also kind of like a little team of,
Yeah.
Yeah, so
because I guess in a way it's also a celebration of Irish music and Irish song and the talent that we have within the country. So I guess you felt like you were supporting each other, and I guess you feel like you're part of the same group, competing together.
Yeah, absolutely. It was lovely. Really, really nice.
Okay, so I know there's a really interesting story about how you guys came to this point and to be together like this, preparing for the Eurosong selection. So I'm going to go back to, so I think it was last October, RTE put the call out for songs for the Irish selection for 2022. And Johan, I guess at that point you had the song I'm Loving Me. So what was the story about? How did you decide, okay, this needs to be submitted to Ireland specifically?
Well, okay, so last year we had a song in the Eurovision. It was The Ride for Poland, and that song was not specifically written for the Eurovision. It was selected by Polish television, and they asked us, can we do your song? Can we have Rafał do your song? Because they had already decided the artist, and so we're like, of course he can, So this year, because a lot of people complained last year about the song, is like didn't have all the trimmings of a Eurovision song. It didn't have the key changes, all the explosions, the whatever. So this summer we actually got together me and two of the other songwriters, we sat down in a park in the summer and we're like, okay, let's go all in. Let's explore the Eurovision concept and have fun with it, and let's dress it in like nice 80s clothes, sort of. And so we did, and then we submitted it to a few countries. Not a, I don't know exactly how many, but a few countries, and I don't think we submitted it to Sweden actually. And then so we heard back in December. I don't know exactly the date, from RTE. I think maybe around the 10th or something. And we're like, yes, we got a song. And in Ireland, is, the most, it's like in the Eurovision, Ireland is the country that has won the most times. So we're like, how cool is that? So we're super excited. Only one problem. We didn't have an Irish singer.
Yes, interesting. And that's where Rachel comes in. So how did you guys get into contact?
Well, RTE had they had a list of singers. And they're like, well, here's a list of Irish singers. And we're like, okay. So we looked up a few, and then it didn't work out because people were busy. And so we looked at like a couple, and someone got sick and whatever. And so we're like, a few days, like, and we were getting close to Christmas. Like we're somewhere around the 20th maybe. And we knew that the song had to be released on the 10th or something, and it had to be recorded and mastered and all that. So we're like, okay, we're looking at a very, narrow timeline. So Anna, who wrote the lyrics, she's like, you know what? I'll go online. So she went on Instagram, because there's a lot of great singers out there. And one singer in particular had tagged her songs with Irish singer. So Anna found this amazing talent. She's like, oh my gosh, listen to this girl. She can belt it out. She's got a great voice, great personality. And we're like, contact her. And here we are.
And here we are with Rachel. And Rachel, so what was your first reaction when the guys reached out from Sweden and said, we have the song, it's headed for the Eurovision selection for Ireland, and we want you to be in it?
Yeah, so initially when I first got the message, I was like, oh wow, that's really cool. So I was like, congratulations, that's amazing. And she said, look, I know you kind of sing country and folk, but we think your voice is great, we think your vibe is great, we think you'd really fit the song. So I said, great, look, let me hear it and we'll see, we'll go from there. So they sent me the song. I didn't realize at the time that they had just contacted me, as in like, I kind of thought maybe they were talking to a few singers and they might have said, oh, actually we have someone now. So I was I was actually working the day I got it. So I kind of listened to it while I was in the car. And immediately I was like driving along, like, and I think I knew the words like straight away. Like I don't know what it is about me, but anytime I hear a song, like I like know it straight away nearly. It's really weird. So I was like driving along, feel the wind in my hair, like, oh, this is cool. So I got back and said, look, love the song. When do you need to know by? Because I'm also in another competition. It's a country singer competition in Ireland here, on TG Cahir, and I was like, if the dates clash or anything like that, I won't be able to take part. So we were kind of getting the dates. The dates were fine, so I was like, oh great. So we met on Zoom, and I think the next day or something like that.
Late in the day before Christmas, on the 23rd, late in the afternoon.
Yeah, so we did a Zoom and I sang the song, and I kind of thought they might go off and do a little deliberation, and come back to me maybe in a few hours or something. But they were like, no, great. So I was like, oh, amazing. So I remember coming out of the room, my mum was like, well, how did it go? I was like, yeah, they want me to sing it.
Wow, what a nice Christmas present.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and you mentioned that, go ahead, Johan.
Well, it was a great Christmas present for us too, because then we knew that, okay, we have an artist, we will be able to record the vocals and have time to, because, you know, Christmas break. And so that was like, everyone just like, oh, fantastic.
Awesome, perfect timing then. And so, Rachel, I know that you mentioned yourself, your normal musical style is more in the, I believe you said folk, and I know you're a trained soprano and an opera singer. So how did you mentally adjust, or I don't know, vocally adjust in terms of singing this 80s pop banger?
Well, I've been gigging for years, so like even as a child, I was always able to cross genres like very easily. Like my parents listened to country music. That's what got me into country music and Irish folk, so I used to sing that. And then my mum used to listen to Charlotte Church, so I was able to like switch over and sing opera. And my mum was like, what? Like, that's a bit weird. Like, you know, I could kind of sing everything. So I suppose I went through life, even though I went and got classically trained and did a degree in music, which was very classical based, I always kept all parts of my singing going. So I've always been gigging. So I've always been doing every kind of genre. Like I've covered wedding bands, and in wedding bands, like you have to literally be able to sing everything. Like I literally was singing AC/DC, like all that kind of stuff. So and then next minute I'm on the stage singing with a full orchestra with no microphone. So it's really weird. So my voice just kind of adjusts quite easily. So yeah, I suppose I'm quite lucky in that sense. But then I feel like people are probably like, this girl confuses me because she sings so many things. But no, I do feel lucky that I can kind of switch quite easily. Yeah.
That's awesome.
But isn't it also like this, that you know, when you go into Eurovision, the Eurovision is so odd. I mean, it's like an odd animal. So I think people are really like, if you do like a one-off, like something that is totally out of style as for you as an artist, people just like, well, you know, it's Eurovision, you can do whatever, you can have like, you know. So I think people are more accepting because it's such a weird competition in itself.
Yeah definitely.
Yeah, you get carte blanche to take a total different direction. And so now that the song has been released for, I guess it's over a week at this point, what has the reaction been like? What kind of comments have you had? What kind of feedback have you heard from the Eurovision fan base?
I mean, I've been like looking all the time on different things like Twitter and YouTube, and I suppose like everything, like there's so many positive comments, so I try and focus on them. But then there is the negatives as well, but it's the same for every single song. Like everyone's getting really different feedback. Like some are saying that they're like, my number one is I'm Loving Me, I love it so much, and then other people, you know, are like, no, it's bottom. So it's very hard to know like what people want. Like when I heard the song, I literally just like heard Eurovision. I was like, wow, like to me that's really Eurovision. But then someone kind of wrote that they were like, oh, you can tell this girl hasn't watched Eurovision in 10 years. But like I watch it every year, so I was like, am I watching a different program or am I?
Yeah, you're right, because this song screams Eurovision. It's got all the elements that you would expect.
Well, that's actually what I said, and someone retweeted my quote or something saying that. Yeah, so I was like, oh well, I thought it was very Eurovision. Yeah, like I mean, even last year, like because I kind of rewatched the final as well, and I was like, there's so many songs like not like the same as this, but like, you know, with that vibe, like that kind of like the disco, the pop, the bop kind of vibe, you know. So I was like, this song is so Eurovision. Like I love it.
I think that's, I mean, that's, people are, okay, first of all, I would say that the feedback from people, the comments and stuff, that is, it's been very supportive. You always get like those people. I have one favorite, where it's like, what is this? What is this shite? You know, it's just like funny. I was reading the comments and it's just, but overall, it's very supportive, and I think people get that, you know, we took the stereotypes, we took the cliches, it's like, let's go all in, you know, let's not hold back at all. This is not this is pop music. Let's go all in. And it seems like there's a lot of people from your community too, Rachel, like your area is like, oh, we need to support her. And so that's been really uplifting.
Yeah, like I'm from a lovely small town, and they're so supportive of me. Like they're just amazing. Like in anything I've ever done, they're just so supportive. And it's so funny, like people are stopping me on the streets now, like even though like before I would have been quite known in my town anyway, but like people are stopping my mom now and be like, oh my god, it's great, and my mom so yeah, it's like it's really supportive. I'm really grateful for where I live. Like they're great.
That's fantastic. Yeah, because I guess also the 6 songs that are in the selection are so different. They're almost all from completely different genres. So naturally, I guess people are polarized in different directions. But I mean, obviously, it screams Eurovision, and the Eurovision fans specifically definitely gravitate to this type of music. So that's fantastic. And I'm going to be very brave and ask you if you can give us any hints about what your Late Late Show performance is going to look like.
Sorry, I don't know what happened there. I don't think I'm allowed. Am I allowed?
How about I ask, how do you feel when you think about your Late Late Show performance and what you have planned?
I feel like I'm at a disco, like I'm at a like club, with like, glam vibes.
Okay, that's very, very exciting. Very, very exciting.
I'm trying not to say any words.
I know. I'm not going to push you.
I mean, I can say one word, neon. So that's one thing also that I feel like we as songwriters, we've been so invited to be very involved in the process. I mean, in Sweden, there would be like someone producing, the stage, someone, the styling, everything would have been taken care of. But here it's like, okay, we'll find a singer. And then we kind of find out, okay, what would look best? What kind of clothes do you want to wear? That kind of stuff. And like, what about staging? They even offered me to, since I'm a graphic designer and visual designer, they offered me to do the background graphics. So it's like, okay, this is cool. So everyone has invested so much because it's so much fun,
And that makes it more personal, I suppose, because it's your song as well. You get to put your slant that you want on it,
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny because sometimes, because we have a group on Facebook where we communicate, the 4 songwriters and Rachel, and it's like it can be, it's such a mix of things. It's like, what do you think of these shoes? Or maybe I'll wear this, it's like, okay, it's just like
it's like a nice small family project that you're all invested in.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's so awesome. And so I know that this month particularly is super busy for you, Rachel, because you mentioned earlier that you're involved in Glór Tíre on TG Ceathair. Could you tell our viewers who are maybe from outside Ireland what that is and your involvement in Glór Tíre?
So it's basically search for a country star, and that's kind of what the gist of it is. I grew up singing country music, and when the pandemic hit and I kind of my life stopped for a minute, I got to kind of sit down and really go back to my roots. So I decided to bring out a single last year, and I brought out my first country single last year. And then, I wanted to, I really wanted to go on the show. And then I was asked to be Mike Denver's contestant, and I was like thrilled. So yeah, we've done some pre-recording already, and the first pre-record goes out on the 1st of February. And then obviously this is on the 4th of February, and then the live show for Glór Tíre is on the 8th of February. So it's like boom, 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 like one after the other. So I'm literally going country, pop, country.
TG Ceathair, RTE, TG Ceathair. What an exciting life.
Yeah.
And so I know you're very experienced. You've in terms of performing, like you said, in wedding venues and the National Concert Hall and the Bordgosh Energy Theatre, these big, massive venues. So is this your first venture into TV performance, or how have you found that experience?
No, it's not. I was on the TV years ago. I was only 16 or 17 at the time. It was called the All Ireland Talent Show. I don't know if you remember it.
I do. I remember it, yeah.
For like 3 or 4 years, and then I think they kind of axed it. But I was on the very first year, and I represented the West of Ireland for Dahi O'Shea. So I was on that a few years ago. So that was kind of like a bit of a delve into telly. After that, I also was on Britain's Got Talent, but I wasn't actually on the telly. But I got down to the last 120 in that. I was the same age actually that time. So yeah, like I have done a few different things for telly. So yeah.
Wow. And I know being from Ireland, there's a cultural significance to making it onto the Late Late Show. So how does it fit with your kind of your personal, your career ambitions in terms of making it to the Late Late Show?
I know, it's so funny. Like, I think every Irish artist literally just wants to go on the Late Late Show. It's like it's such a big thing. So like every one of us even said today, I can't believe like I'm even going to be on the Late Late Show. It's like, yeah. So I'm very excited, like really excited. I've actually been to the Late Late Show to watch it once. But yeah, so and I remember being like, oh God, I love to sing on the Late Late Show. So now I am.
Is it correct?
Yeah.
Or will be.
Is it correct that it's actually the second longest running talk show in the world? I read.
I think it's a massive thing in our. It's been running for years, like years.
Because I downloaded the RTE app because I needed to check out the stage and whatever, and so I watched one of the shows, and it's kind of, I'm like, okay, it's homey sort of. It has everything. It could be like a long talk with people about I don't know, adopting kids, to like some person singing, to it's such a mix of things, and it's like 2 hours long.
Yeah, I suppose it's a talk show, but the one nice thing about it is it can have quite a personal element, because there's a lot of people that are on it are Irish, or it's telling their story of things that are going on in their life. So it's quite nice, it has that nice, because I suppose as Irish people we kind of like to stick together. We're very kind of proud of our island, I suppose. Yeah.
That's awesome, yeah. And it's definitely going to be an eye-opener for people outside of Ireland who are tuning in to watch the Eurovision special. So I'm excited to see what you will think, Johan. But I was also curious to know, Johan, so based on your experience with the ride and being involved with Poland last year, what advice have you been able to offer to Rachel?
I don't know what we actually took away from last year, because it was so different too with the whole COVID situation. And I mean, we weren't able to go to Rotterdam or anything. And so I think, I don't know, actually. I mean, just basically it is, have fun. This is an opportunity. And that's maybe sometimes some of these people who comment forget that the whole thing is about having fun and coming together and but I mean, yeah, just enjoy the moment. And so that's, you don't know how long or how far you're going to go, but just, whatever, use your time and enjoy the moment. That's only it, actually.
Very good. And so, Rachel, I have to ask you, since we're talking about Eurovision, what is your favorite Eurovision song or Eurovision artist, Irish or otherwise?
Okay, I think my favorite. Oh, I don't know. Oh God, I loved "In Your Eyes," which was an Irish song. I mean, I loved Dana, but I wasn't actually around when that was there. But I've listened to her song, and I've met Dana as well. But I think one of my favorite ever Eurovision songs was Euphoria. And I remember when I was watching it that year, and I obviously was watching all the countries, and that came on, and I remember being like, oh my God, that's the winner, 100%. And I was like, that is going to be in the nightclub next week. And lo and behold, I was out that Saturday night. I was a lot younger then. I went out a lot, and there it came on in the club, and I was like, I knew well this would be a hit. It was such a good song. Oh my God, yes, that's probably one of my favorites.
Awesome. Yeah, mine too. And Johan, you might agree, since Euphoria is one of the Swedish winners.
Well, yeah, but then again, you know, like, hold me now.
Oh yeah,
don't cry. I mean, that's a good one. And what's another year for someone who's, you know, Ireland has had some great songs, but
yeah, definitely.
yeah, I think
I just loved the banger. It was like I love a good ballad as well, but I just thought Euphoria was like, it got me really dancing. I was like, oh yeah.
Euphoria is a great one, and then of course ABBA. But
Oh yeah, obviously.
so it was funny because someone was like, you know, okay, so Ireland has 7 wins, right? Or is it 8?
7.
Seven.
Yeah.
Okay, and Sweden has 6, right?
Oh.
Isn't it?
Yes, you're catching up.
So someone was like, well, if you would go all the way, you could actually make Ireland, you know, you have Swedish songwriters write a song for Ireland that would, you know, and it was just funny. It's like,
Yeah,
well,
I mean,
you know.
well, we've just been talking about the best of the songs from Sweden and Ireland, and we have the perfect combination here today. So I wish you all the best, and there's nothing left to say except good luck in the next 2 weeks in the preparation for the final show. We'll all be tuning in and rooting for you. And yeah, any last words?
No, it's just please vote for my song. Woo!
Yes, vote for
Yeah.
I'm Loving Me.
Yeah, I hope you enjoy it. And I suppose whatever goes on to represent Ireland will be fab. But vote for I'm Loving Me.
Very true.
Okay, guys, thank you for your time, and thank you for tuning in, and see you soon on Eurovoxx.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.